Cho everybody, NZ Blasian here, back with another video. As this time around I've got the Los Angeles Clippers in the 2010-11 season of the NBA, as I'm going to surround this squad builder on Blake Griffin's rookie year. So we got him here at 6'10", age 21, with 17 badges and an 85 overall, alongside Chris Kaman at 7 foot, Eric Gordon, Baron Davis, DeAndre Jordan, Ruskell Butler, Craig Smith, Eric Bledsoe, Brian Cook, James Smith, and we won't worry about the rest of them, as that's going to be your Clippers team for the squad builder, and it's going to be Blake Griffin's rookie year, as I've got it set on Hall of Fame, 12-minute quarters, no injuries are turned off, and trades are also turned off. So we'll get into the squad builder and see how well Blake Griffin can do in his rookie season in the 2010-11 season. So we'll get underway from October 17th to October 31st, so we'll do all of October. So here's the set. We'll start the simulation off, and we first up lose to the Lakers, lose to the Kings, then get a W over the Suns, then lose to OKC in back-to-back games against them, then lose to New Orleans and lose to the Rockets. So we start off 1-6 in Blake Griffin's rookie season as a Clipper. So we'll check the loss against the Lakers. Kobe Bryant with 22 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. 20 for Lamar Odom. Pau Gasol with 17 points and 16 rebounds, so a double-double. And 17 points from Matt Barnes. 25 points for Eric Gordon. Baron Davis with 21 points. Blake Griffin with 18 points, 9 rebounds and 4 assists. Shooting 8 of 13 from the field. And then the loss to the Kings, 22 points for Samuel, 21 points for Bino, Tyreek Evans with 18, and Caspi with 15. A 30-point game with 13 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals for Blake Griffin, so a double-double, shooting 12 of 17 from the field. 22 for Eric Gordon and 12 points for Chris Kaman, and 10 points and 12 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan, so a double-double. And then we get the win against the Suns. 28 points for Eric Gordon, 26 for Baron Davis, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block for Blake Griffin, to go with shooting from 8 of 11 from the field. Just need to clear my throat. 15 points and 15 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan, so a double-double. A 20-piece for Steve Nash, 19 for Channing Frye, 15 for Jason Richardson. And then a loss to the OKC, 24 points for Kevin Durant, James Harden with 21, 16 points and 13 assists for Westbrook, so a double-double. A 30-piece for Eric Gordon, 16 points and 14 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan, so a double-double. Chris Kaman with 16 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. Blake Griffin with 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, and shooting 5 of 8 from the field, but he fouled out in 20 minutes. And then the loss to back-to-back losses to OKC, 32 points for Kevin Durant, 21 for Westbrook, 15 for Darquin Cook, 36 points for Baron Davis. Blake Griffin with 33 points and 19 rebounds, with 1 assist and 1 steal, so a double-double. Mind my dog's barking in the background, man. I can't do nothing about it. 18 points for Eric Gordon. And then the loss to New Orleans, 27 points and 11 rebounds with 1 assist and 1 steal for Blake Griffin, so another double-double. A 20-piece game for Eric Gordon, Baron Davis with 14, 25 points for Marco Bellinelli, Chris Paul with 17 points and 15 assists, so a double-double, 14 for Marcus Thornton. And then the loss to the Rockets, by 1 point, 28 points, 16 rebounds, and 1 assist for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 20 for Eric Gordon, 18 for Chris Kaman, 22 for Kevin Martin, 18 for Louis Scola, 16 for Monty Crawford, and 13 points for Yao Ming. And then we move into November. With a 1-6 record. And we'll simulate from October 31st to November 19th. So we'll simulate through. We take a win against the Rockets, a win against the Spurs, a win against the Jazz, so we start 3 in a row to start November. And we take a loss to the Cavs, a loss to the Lakers, then we win against the Nets, a loss to the Rockets, a loss to the Mavs, a loss to Detroit, and then we win against the Spurs. So as of November 19th, we've got a record of 6 wins and 11 losses. So yeah, just mind my dog's barking in the background. She's getting annoyed because people are eating food around her and she's trying to be impatient, man. So yeah, we'll look at the win against the Rockets to start November. 14 for Louis Scola, Aaron Brooks with 11, Kevin Martin with 10. And then 25 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists and a steal for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 24, Chris Kaman with 18. And then the win against the Spurs, a 30-piece for Tony Parker, 22 points and 10 rebounds for Tim Duncan, so a double-double. 20 points and 11 assists for Ginobili, so a double-double. Jefferson with 15. 34 points, 9 rebounds and 6 assists for Blake Griffin. A 30-piece for Eric Gordon. 19 for Chris Kaman. 17 points and 12 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. And 14 points and 14 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan, so a double-double. And then the win against Utah. 22 points for Chris Kaman. 21 points for Baron Davis. Blake Griffin with 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists and a steal, shooting 7 of 10 from the field. 15 for Bledsoe and Eric Gordon with 12. And then Deron Williams with 22, CJ Miles with 18 and Jefferson with 15. And then the loss to the Cavs, 23 points for Baron Davis and Eric Gordon, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists for Blake Griffin, but he fouled out in 27 minutes. DeAndre Jordan with 12 points, 15 rebounds, 1 assist and a steal, so another double-double. Daniel Gibson with 30, Antoine Jamison with 22 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. Mo Williams with 20 points and 12 assists, so a double-double. And then the loss to Kobe's Lakers, 17 points, 9 rebounds and 2 assists for Blake Griffin, 16 for Eric Gordon, Baron Davis fouled out for 13, and DeAndre Jordan with 10 points and 10 rebounds, so another double-double. 33 for Pau Gasol, Kobe Bryant with 23 and Lamar Odom with 21. 21, Matt Barnes with 14. We move on to the win against Brooklyn. 33 points for Blake Griffin with 6 rebounds, 7 assists and 4 steals. Shooting 12 of 19 from the field and 9 of 11 from the free throw. And then 27 for Eric Gordon, Craig Smith with 18 and Baron Davis with 13. 31 points for Brook Lopez, Troy Murphy with 15 and Chris Humphries with 13. And in the loss against the Rockets, 27 points for Kevin Martin, 22 points and 10 assists for Kyle Lowry, so a double-double. 21 for Monty Crawford, 25 points for Eric Gordon, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists for Blake Griffin. And then 15 points came from Baron Davis and 14 for DeAndre Jordan. And then the loss to the Mavs, 23 points for Caron Butler, 15 points for Steve Novak, Dirk Nowitzki with 14, 20 piece for Eric Gordon, Blake Griffin with 17 points, 12 rebounds and 4 assists, so another double-double. Baron Davis with 14 and Chris Kaman with 12. And then the loss to the Pistons, 22 points for Eric Gordon, Blake Griffin with 19 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal. 18 for Baron Davis and 13 for Chris Kaman. And then the win against the Spurs, 27 for Eric Gordon. Blake Griffin with 22 points, 9 rebounds and an assist. Shooting 10 of 17 from the field. 14 for Chris Kaman, I mean. 18 for Tony Parker. 14 for Manu Ginobili. Richard Jefferson with 14. Tim Duncan with 13 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. And we move on and we'll finish November into December. So we'll go from November 19th to December 3rd with a 6 wins and 11 losses. So we'll simulate through. And we end up taking a 1-point win against the Jazz. Then we lose to Golden State. Then we take a win against Denver. Then we lose to the Pacers. Then we win against Portland. Lose against the Jazz. And then we start December with a win over the Kings. So as of December 3rd, we've got a record of 10 wins and 14 losses. So we'll check the win over the Jazz. 28 points for Eric Gordon. 28 points, 11 rebounds and 6 assists for Blake Griffin. So a double-double. Chris Kaman with 13 points and 13 rebounds, so a double-double. 12 points and 11 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. 26 for De'Aaron Williams, 22 for CJ Miles, and Jefferson with 13. And then the loss to Golden State, 28 points and 14 rebounds for David Lee, so a double-double. 15 for Reggie Williams and Monte Ellis with 14. 25 points for Eric Gordon, 17 points, 10 rebounds and 6 assists for Blake Griffin, so another double-double. 17 points for DeAndre Jordan and 15 for Baron Davis. And then the win against Denver, 27 points for Eric Gordon, 23 for Baron Davis, 23 for Chris Kaman, and Blake Griffin had 20 points and 21 rebounds with 9 assists, a steal and a block. So a big double-double for him. 23 points for Ty Lawson, 22 for Al Harrington, and 14 for Aaron Alfalio. And in the loss to the Pacers, 32 points coming from Eric Gordon, 20 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin, so another double-double. Baron Davis with 15 and Bledsoe with 10. 30-piece for Darren Collison, Danny Granger with 20, and Paul George only managed 8 points. And then the win against Portland, 21 points and 12 rebounds for LaMarcus Aldridge, so a double-double. 12 points for Batum, 12 points for Wesley Matthews. And then we go into the Clippers, Eric Gordon with 26, Chris Kaman with 18 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. 14 points and 12 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. Blake Griffin with 14 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists and a steal, so another double-double. And then the loss to the Jazz, 23 points for Al Jefferson, 21 for Paul Millsap, and De'Aaron Williams with 19 points and 14 assists, so a double-double. And then Earl Watson was 16. And that's De'Aaron Williams, 27 points and 10 rebounds with 5 assists and a steal for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 22. Chris Kaman with 14 points and 13 rebounds, so a double-double. Baron Davis with 12. And in the win against the Kings, 27 points and 10 rebounds for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 22 points, Baron Davis with 11, and Chris Kaman with 10 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. 18 points and 11 rebounds for Tyreek Evans, so a double-double. 16 points for DeMarcus Cousins. And we move on further into December, so we'll go from December 3rd to December 23rd with a record of 10 wins and 14 losses. So we'll simulate through and continue Blake Griffin's rookie season. So we'll simulate through, and we take a win against the Hornets. We'll might as well check that and then re-simulate. Sean Livingston with 24. Gerald Henderson with 21, Gerald Wallace with 12 points, 12 rebounds and 6 steals, so a double-double. 24 points for Eric Gordon, 24 points and 13 rebounds for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. A 20-piece for Baron Davis, 18 points and 13 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan, so a double-double. And then we move on and we'll go from December 5th to December 31st. So we've got 11 wins and 14 losses in Blake Griffin's rookie season. So we'll simulate from December 5th to December 31st. So here goes. We'll simulate through. We take a loss to the Magic, a loss to Miami, then get a win over Washington, a loss to Boston, a loss to Minnesota, and then we lose to Minnesota, then we get a win over the Suns, a win over Washington, a win over the Hornets, and a win over the 76ers as of December 23rd. So as of December 23rd, we got a record of 16 wins and 18 losses. So we'll check the loss against the Magic. 29 points for Vince Carter, 23 points and 19 rebounds for Dwight Howard, so a double-double. Jameer Nelson with 19 and J.J. Redick with 14. 32 points for Eric Gordon, 26 points, 12 rebounds and 3 assists with a steal for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. Baron Davis with 18 and DeAndre Jordan with 13. And we move on to the loss against Miami. 34 points coming from LeBron James, 19 points and 10 rebounds for Chris Bosh, so a double-double. 14 for Dwayne Wade and Mike Miller with 13. And Udonis Haslem with 12 points and 11 rebounds, so a double-double. A 20-piece for Eric Gordon, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin. 16 points and 10 rebounds for Brian Cook, so a double-double. And then the win against Washington, 19 points for Gilbert Arenas, 19 points for Kirk Heinrich, Gerald Green with 15, Jamal Crawford with 13, and John Wall with 10 points. 33 points for Eric Gordon, 22 for Craig Smith, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2 blocks for Blake Griffin. Chris Kaman with 17 points and 16 rebounds, so a double-double. And Baron Davis with 14 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. And then the 3-point loss to the Celtics. 27 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals for Blake Griffin. 14 points for Eric Bledsoe. 12 points for Eric Gordon, and 12 points for Chris Kaman. And then Ray Allen with 24, Paul Pierce with 20, Kevin Garnett with 11 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. And then the loss to Minnesota, 26 points for Eric Gordon, 24 points, 9 rebounds, and 3 assists for Blake Griffin, 17 points for Baron Davis, 28 points and 13 rebounds for Kevin Love, so a double-double, 21 points for Luke, 18 points for Ricky Rubio, and Beasley with 17. And then we move on to the win against the Suns. 36 points, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and a block for Blake Griffin, so double-double. 25 for Eric Gordon and 15 for Baron Davis. 20 for Grant Hill, 15 for Hedo Turkoglu, Hakeem Warwick with 14, and Jared Dudley with 12. And then the win against Washington, 22 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block for Blake Griffin, so another double-double. 20 for Baron Davis, 19 for Eric Gordon, and 12 points for Chris Kaman. 16 points for Andre Blatty, 16 points for JaVale McGee, and 15 for Gerald Green, and 14 points for John Wall. And then we move on to the win against the Hornets. Blake Griffin with 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 5 assists, so a double-double. 17 for Eric Gordon, Baron Davis with 14, and Eric Bledsoe with 12. 22 points for DJ Augustine, 15 for Sean Livingston, and 12 for Gerald Wallace. And then the win against the Sixers, 20 points for Lou Williams, 19 for Iguodala, Thaddeus Young with 11 points. 21 points for Eric Gordon, Blake Griffin with 19 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double, plus a steal. And then DeAndre Jordan with 16 points, 18 rebounds, and 4 blocks, so a double-double. And 12 points for Baron Davis. And then we move on, and we'll finish December, so we'll go from December 23rd to January 6th with a 16 and 18 record, so we'll simulate through. We end up taking a win on the 26th of December against Detroit. Then we lose to the Raptors. Then we take a win against the Celtics. Then we lose on the last day of December to the Pacers. We'll go to January 8th. And we lose on the first day of January to Miami. Then we get a win over Denver, lose to Minnesota. And then on January 8th, we get a win over Atlanta. So as of January 8th, we've got a record of 20 wins and 22 losses. So we'll check the win against Detroit. 17 for Tyshawn Prince. Ben Gordon with 16. Charlie Villanueva with 9 points. And Chris Wilcox with 11. A 30-piece for Eric Gordon. 20 for Craig Smith. 18 points and 10 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. 18 points, 13 rebounds and 4 assists for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. And Bledsoe with 13. And then the big loss to the Raptors. 24 points for Linus Kaliza, DeRozan with 23 and Pagani with 23, and then Ed Davis with 14 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. 21 points for Eric Gordon, Baron Davis with 14, Blake Griffin with 12 points, 18 rebounds and 2 assists, so a double-double, but he fouled out. 12 points for DeAndre Jordan, and then the 1-point win over the Celtics. 18 points for Kevin Garnett, 17 for Paul Pierce, Rajon Rondo with 10 points and 13 assists, so a double-double. 10 points for Shaquille O'Neal, and then Ray Allen with 7. 27 for Eric Gordon, 21 points and 15 rebounds and 3 assists for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 11 points each for Baron Davis and Chris Kaman. And then the 3-point loss to the Pacers. 28 points for Danny Granger, 15 for Darren Collison, and 11 points for Paul George. 20-piece for Eric Gordon, 19 for Baron Davis, 16 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 assists for Blake Griffin, but he fouled out. 12 points for Chris Kaman. And then the loss to start January against Miami. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals for Blake Griffin. 27 for Baron Davis and 15 for Craig Smith. 36 points for Dwayne Wade, 17 for Mike Miller, 16 for Chris Bosh, and 12 points for Haslam. And LeBron struggled with 9 points and 12 assists. And we move on to the win against Denver. Carmelo Anthony with 36 points, Ty Lawson with 19, and Chauncey Billups with 11. 25 points and 11 assists for Eric Gordon, so a double-double. 22 for Chris Kaman and 11 rebounds, so a double-double. 19 points for Baron Davis, but he fouls out. 17 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin, but he fouled out. DeAndre Jordan with 13 points and 14 rebounds, so a double-double. And in the loss against Minnesota, 27 points for Luke, Malik Beasley with 20, and Kevin Love with 17 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. 31 for Baron Davis, Blake Griffin with 24 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 19, and DeAndre Jordan with 10 points and 17 rebounds, so a double-double. And then the win against Atlanta, 36 points for Eric Gordon, 25 points and 7 rebounds for Blake Griffin, but he fouls out in 25 minutes, shooting 10 of 13 from the field. Craig Smith with 14, Bledsoe with 13, and Chris Kaman with 12 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. Joe Johnson with 21, Josh Smith with 19, Mo Williams with 14, and Jamal Crawford with 14. Then we move on and we'll simulate the rest of January. So we go from January 8th to January 29th with a 20 and 22 record. So we'll simulate through. We end up taking a 1-point loss to the Mavs. Then we get a win against Denver. Then we take a 3-point loss to the Rockets. And then we lose to Philly. Then we get a win against Utah, win against the Spurs. Then lose to the Mavs. And then we win against the Lakers, win against the Spurs, win against the Hawks, and lose to the Cavs on January 29th. So as of January 29th, we've got a record of 26 wins and 27 losses. So we'll check the loss against the Mavs. 33 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals for Blake Griffin. 31 for Eric Gordon and 23 for Baron Davis. 23 points for Jason Terry. Sean Marion with 19 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. 17 points for Dirk and 16 points for Tyson Chandler. And in the win against Denver, 37 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. Shooting 12 of 20 from the field and 13 of 16 from the free throw. Eric Gordon and Chris Kaman with 15 points each. Ty Lawson with 23. Carmelo Anthony with 16. 15 for Aaron Afalio and 11 for Al Harrington. And in the 3-point loss to the Rockets, 27 points for Eric Gordon, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin. 13 for Baron Davis and 9 points for Bledsoe. 20 piece for Kyle Lowry, 14 points and 10 rebounds and 1 assist for Yao Ming, so double-double. 11 for Kevin Martin and 10 points for Aaron Brooks. And in the loss to the Sixers, 27 points for Eric Gordon, 18 points and 15 rebounds with 2 assists and 3 steals for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. Baron Davis with 12 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. And Chris Kaman with 12. 17 points for Jrue Holiday. Elton Brand with 17 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. And 15 points for Lou Will. And in the win against the Jazz, 18 points for Paul Millsap. CJ Miles with 16. And Deron Williams with 15 points and 14 assists, so a double-double. 28 points for Eric Gordon, 24 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin. 22 points and 13 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. 14 points for Chris Kaman and DeAndre Jordan with 10 points and 10 rebounds, plus being perfect from the field, so a double-double for him. And in the win against the Spurs, 25 points, 10 assists for Tony Parker, so a double-double. 17 for Manu Ginobili. Danny Green with 12 points and 10 points for Richard Jefferson. 31 points for Eric Gordon. Blake Griffin with 26 points, 10 rebounds and 3 assists, so a double-double. Baron Davis with 13 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. 11 points for Bledsoe, 10 points and 13 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan, so a double-double. And in the loss against the Mavs, 17 for Jason Terry, 17 for Dirk, 14 each for Jason Kidd and Caron Butler. Tyson Chandler with 12 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. Blake Griffin with 32 points, 10 rebounds and 4 assists, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 26 points. And in the win against the Lakers, 27 points for Kobe Bryant, 17 points for Andrew Bynum, 14 points, 11 rebounds for Pau Gasol, so a double-double. 27 points, 17 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 21 for Eric Gordon, Baron Davis with 17. And in the win against the Spurs, 24 points for Eric Gordon, 23 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 19 points for Chris Kaman, Baron Davis with 16, and DeAndre Jordan with 13 points and 11 rebounds, so a double-double. 18 points for Tim Duncan, Tony Parker with 17, and Richard Jefferson with 14, and Manu Ginobili with 13. And in the win against the Atlanta Hawks, 37 points coming from Joe Johnson, Jamal Crawford with 15, and Josh Smith with 15. 29 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 24 for Eric Gordon, 14 for Baron Davis, 14 points, 11 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan, so a double-double. And then we move on to the loss against the Cavs. 22 points and 10 rebounds for J.J. Hickson, 19 points for Jameson, so Hickson gets a double-double. Anthony Parker with 15 and Daniel Gibson with 13. A 20-piece, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin. 19 for Eric Gordon. Baron Davis with 17. DeAndre Jordan with 11 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. And Bledsoe with 11 points. And then we move on and we'll finish January into February. So we'll go from January 29th to February 16th with a 26 wins and 27 losses for the season. So we'll simulate through. We end up taking a loss to the Bulls on January 31st. Derrick Rose with 36, Carlos Boozer with 21, Taj Gibson with 12, and Joakim Noah with 10 points and 13 rebounds, so a double-double. 25 points for Baron Davis, 20 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin, 14 for Chris Kaman. And we go from January 31st to February 16th with a 26 wins and 28 losses. So we'll simulate through and start February. We take a win against the Bucks, a win against the Knicks, a win against the Nets. Then we lose to the Mavs, lose to the Bucks, and then we win against Golden State. And then we go to the 16th before All-Star and we take the win against the Suns. So just before All-Star break we've got 31 wins and 30 losses. So we'll check the win against Milwaukee. 27 points for Brandon Jennings, Michael Redd with 23 and McGiddy with 8. 26 points for Eric Gordon, 17 for Craig Smith, Blake Griffin for 14 with 7 rebounds, 4 assists and a steal. Baron Davis with 13 points and 12 assists, so a double-double. And then we move on to the win against the Knicks. A 30-piece for Amari Stoudemire, Gallinari with 24, Corey Brewer with 15, and Wilson Chandler with 13. 23 points for Eric Gordon, Chris Kaman with 23, Blake Griffin with 22 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals, so a double-double. Baron Davis fouled out for 18, and Bledsoe with 12 points. And then All-Star Draft happened, and it's going to be Team Kobe versus Team LeBron. So we've got Kobe as captain, with his starters being Kobe alongside Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Tim Duncan. And then his reserves are going to be Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Kevin Love, Joe Johnson, Ray Allen, Russell Westbrook, and Joakim Noah. And then Team LeBron as captain is LeBron. So his starters is LeBron, Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade, Amari Stoudemire, and Derrick Rose. And then you got the reserves of Tony Parker, Carmelo Anthony, Deron Williams, Chris Bosh, Blake Griffin. So Blake Griffin makes it in his rookie year. Pau Gasol and Rajon Rondo. So we'll move on and we'll look at the win against the Nets. 23 points for Travis Outlaw. Devin Harris was 16, and Chris Humphries was 16, and then Derek Favors with 14, and then Brook Lopez with 13 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. Blake Griffin with 30 points, 13 rebounds, 4 assists, so a double-double, but he fouls out. 23 points and 13 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 12, and Chris Kaman with 11 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. And then the loss to the Mavs, 22 points and 10 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. Chris Kaman with 19. Blake Griffin with 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 assists, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 16. 41 points coming from Dirk Nowitzki, 16 for Jason Terry, and 14 for Marion. And then the loss to the Bucks, 26 points and 3 rebounds with 2 steals for Blake Griffin, 19 each for Baron Davis and Eric Gordon. Just clearing my throat, guys, sorry. 22 points for Brandon Jennings, Larry Saunders with 18 and McGiddy with 16. And then the win against Golden State, 33 points coming from Eric Gordon, 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists for Blake Griffin, 15 for Baron Davis, DeAndre Jordan with 14 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. And then 15 points for Monty Ellis, 15 for David Lee, and 14 points for Steph Curry. And then the win against the Suns, 21 points for Grant Hill, Steve Nash with 18, Hedo Turkoglu with 16, and Jason Richardson with 14. And then Eric Gordon got 26 points, Baron Davis with 20, and then Blake Griffin with 15 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, and a steal, so another double-double. 13 for Chris Kaman, and then we'll simulate through All-Star. So we'll go from February 16th to March 5th with a record of 31 wins and 30 losses. So we'll simulate through. So All-Star games happened. Then we have the win against the Kings after All-Star. Then we lose to Denver. And then we lose to Minnesota to finish February. So as of February 28th, we've got a record of 32 wins and 32 losses. So we'll check the Rising Stars game. Team USA get the 122-101 win. So 21 for Jamal Crawford, 20 for John Wall, and Blake Griffin with 14 points and 10 rebounds. So a double-double for Team USA. And then Team World with 25 points for Jody Meeks, 15 points and 11 rebounds for Saunders, so a double-double, and 14 points and 11 assists for Rubio, so a double-double. And then we move on to the big All-Star game. Team Kobe get the 126-111 win over Team LeBron. So Dwayne Wade top scores with 19, Derrick Rose with 18, D. Will with 14, LeBron with 8, and Blake Griffin in 9 minutes with 6 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists and a steal, shooting perfect from the field. 27 for Dwight Howard, 25 for Kevin Durant, and 16 points for Kobe Bryant. And then the win coming out of All-Star against the Kings, 22 points and 11 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. 21 points and 10 rebounds for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 17. And then Chris Kaman with 15 points and DeAndre Jordan with 11 points and 16 rebounds, so a double-double. Tyreek Evans with 23. Samuel Burt with 20 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. DeMarcus Cousins with 17 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double, but he fouls out. Then the loss against Denver, 28 points for Carmelo Anthony. J.R. Smith with 23. Aaron Afalio with 13 and Al Harrington with 13. Blake Griffin with 35 points, 14 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal and a block, so a double-double. DeAndre Jordan with 13 points and 11 rebounds, so a double-double. 13 for Eric Bledsoe and 11 points for Baron Davis. And then we move on to a loss against Minnesota. 29 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists and a steal for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 17 for Baron Davis, 14 for Chris Kaman, and 12 points for Eric Gordon. And then Minnesota had Kevin Love with 31 points and 14 rebounds, so a double-double. And Luke with 19, and then Ricky Rubio with 14 points and 12 assists, so a double-double. And move into March, so we'll go from February 28th to March 19th with a record of 32 wins and 32 losses for the season. So we'll simulate through and start March. So March 2nd, we get the win against Golden State. We get a win against the Kings, get a win against Memphis, then lose to the Raptors, then we get a win against the Knicks, then we lose to Golden State and lose to the Magic, and then lose to Portland. So we've got a record of, as of March 19th, we've got a record of 36 wins and 36 losses for Blake Griffin's rookie season on Hall of Fame. So we'll check the win against Golden State. 25 points for Steph Curry, 24 points for Doral Wright, Monty Ellis with 18, and David Lee with 12 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. 22 points and 10 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. 22 for Eric Gordon, 19.6 rebounds and 4 assists for Blake Griffin, 16 points and 10 rebounds for Chris Kaman, so a double-double, and 13 for Bledsoe. And then the win against the Kings, 24 for Tyreek Evans, Bino with 22, DeMarcus Cousins with 15 points, and Samuel with 13 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. 27 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal for Blake, so a double-double. Eric Gordon with 15 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. 15 for Craig Smith and Bledsoe with 13. And DeAndre Jordan with 11 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. And then we got the win against Memphis. 31 points for Eric Gordon. Blake Griffin fouled out for 16 points, 8 rebounds and 2 steals in 16 minutes. Baron Davis with 14 points and 13 assists, so a double-double. And Chris Kaman with 14. Rudy Gay with 30. Mike Connolly with 19. Zach Randolph with 11 points and 15 rebounds, so a double-double. And Marc Gasol with 11 points and 11 rebounds, so a double-double. And in the 2-point loss to the Raptors, 25 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 21 for Eric Gordon, Baron Davis with 18, and DeAndre Jordan with 17 points. A 30-piece for Leaners, 20 for Andrea Bangani, Leonardo Barbosa with 18, and DeMar DeRozan with 15. And in the win against the Knicks, 29 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks for Blake Griffin. 23 for Baron Davis, Eric Gordon with 15, Amari Stoudemire with 24, Laundry Fields with 15, and Wilson Chandler with 14. And then we get the loss against Golden State. 24 points, 8 rebounds, and an assist for Blake Griffin. 21 for Gordon, Baron Davis with 14, and Bledsoe and Chris Kaman with 10 points each. 25 points for Steph Curry. Doral Wright with 21 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. 16 for Monty Ellis and 12 points for David Lee, but he fouled out. And in the loss to the Magic, 27 points for Eric Gordon, 25 points, 20 rebounds, and 5 assists for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 12 points for Baron Davis, 22 for Dwight Howard, 20 for Michael Pretorius, Jameer Nelson with 19, and Vince Carter with 15. And in the loss to Portland, 29 points for LaMarcus Aldridge, Brandon Roy with 21, Batum with 11, and Fernandez with 11. And then Blake Griffin with 25 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal. 21 for Baron Davis, and Craig Smith with 12. And we move on and we'll simulate the end of March into April. So we'll go from March 19th to April 1st with 36 wins and 36 losses for the season for Blake Griffin's rookie season. So we'll simulate through. We take a win against OKC, and then we lose in a back-to-back against OKC. Then we lose to New Orleans, and then we win against the Bulls, win against Memphis, and we get back-to-back wins against Memphis to finish March. And then we start April with a loss to New Orleans. So as of April 1st, we've got a record of 40 wins and 39 losses in Blake Griffin's rookie season. So we'll check the win against OKC. 26 points, 14 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 20 for Eric Gordon, Baron Davis with 20, 16 points, 12 rebounds for DeAndre Jordan, so a double-double, and he's perfect from the field. And 15 for Bledsoe, 28 points for Westbrook, 27 for James Harden, 17 for Jeff Green, and 10 points for Kevin Durant, but he fouled out in 19 minutes. And in the loss to OKC in the back-to-back, Eric Gordon with 26, Baron Davis with 17, Blake Griffin with 17 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. And then Chris Kaman and Brian Cook both with 10 points each. 39 points for Kevin Durant, 29 points and 12 assists for Russell Westbrook, so a double-double. 18 for James Harden, Jeff Green with 13, and Ibaka with 12 points. And in the loss to New Orleans, 22 points for Eric Gordon, 20 points, 16 rebounds, 2 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. 11 points each for Bledsoe and Chris Kaman. 23 points for Marcus Thornton, 20 points and 10 rebounds for David West, so a double-double. 17 for Ariza and 9 points for CP3. And in the win against the Bulls, 25 points and 10 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. 24 for Gordon, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, and a block for Blake Griffin. 31 for Carlos Boozer, 25 for Derrick Rose, and 22 for Luol Deng. And then the win against Memphis, 23 for Mike Connolly, Rudy Gay with 16, Zach Randolph with 14 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. 23 points for Eric Gordon, 16 points, 11 assists for Baron Davis, so a double-double. And Blake Griffin fouled out for 16 points, 4 rebounds and 2 assists in 23 minutes. And then the back-to-back wins against Memphis, 35 points and 11 rebounds for Rudy Gay, so a double-double. 22 points and 21 rebounds for Randolph, so a double-double. Mike Connolly with 13. Eric Gordon with 39 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. Blake Griffin with 16 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist and 1 steal, so a double-double. And 11 points for DeAndre Jordan. And then the loss to New Orleans to start April. Thornton with 29, Bellinelli with 23, Chris Paul with 17, and David West with 13. 34 for Eric Gordon, 30 points, 3 rebounds and an assist for Blake Griffin. DeAndre Jordan with 9 points and 10 rebounds. And we move on and we'll simulate from April 1st to April 8th. So we've got 2 games left before the last game. So we'll simulate the last 2. So we end up winning against the Lakers and winning against Portland. So we now got 42 wins and 39 losses. So we'll check the win against Lakers. 33 points coming from Eric Gordon, 25 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists and a steal for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. Baron Davis with 11 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. And 10 points for Chris Kaman, 25 points for Kobe Bryant, 17 for Pau Gasol, 14 for Derek Fisher, and 10 points for Matt Barnes. And then the win against Portland, 28 points for Baron Davis, 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists for Blake Griffin. And Eric Gordon and Eric Bledsoe both with 15 points each. And DeAndre Jordan with 14 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. 18 for LaMarcus Aldridge, Brandon Roy and Odin with 15 each. Batum with 14. And we go to the last game against the Suns for Blake Griffin's rookie season, and he's got a record of 42 wins and 39 losses, so we'll simulate the last game, and we get the win against the Suns. So MVP of the 2010-11 season goes to LeBron, wearing the Heat number 66. Don't think that's even right. Rookie of the Year goes to John Wall. Ty Lawson gets 6th Man of the Year. Dwight Howard gets Defensive Player of the Year. Jeff Green gets Most Improved. Rick Carlisle gets Coach of the Year with 66 wins and 16 losses. So we'll advance on. All-NBA First Team is Chris Paul, Derrick Rose, LeBron, Kevin Love, and Dwight Howard. All-NBA Second Team is Russell Westbrook, Dwayne Wade, Dirk Nowitzki, Zach Randolph, and Pau Gasol. And then All-NBA Third Team is Kobe Bryant, D. Williams, Kevin Durant, Blake Griffin, and Tim Duncan. So in Blake's rookie year, he makes the All-NBA Third Team. All-Defensive First Team is Dwayne Wade, Chris Paul, LeBron James, Josh Smith, and Dwight Howard. All-Defensive Second Team is D. Williams, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, Amari Stoudemire, and Marc Gasol. All-Rookie First Team is John Wall, Nikola Pekovic, Greg Monroe, Jordan Crawford, and Derek Favors. And then All-Rookie Second Team is Hanson Whiteside, Ish Smith, Monty Crawford, Gary Neal, and Justin Holiday. So we'll advance on. So the Clippers have made the 8th seed, so they're going to be in the play-in against Houston. And Minnesota and Denver are also fighting in the play-in in the West. And the play-in in the East is Milwaukee, Indiana, and Washington, Atlanta. So we'll check our game. So it's going to be Clippers against Rockets. So we'll simulate the game and hope the Clippers beat the Rockets. So here it goes. We'll simulate the game. And the Rockets end up getting the job done. 107-105. Yao Ming with 28 points and 10 rebounds, so a double-double. Kevin Martin with 18 and Crawford with 15. 31 for Eric Gordon. 31 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, and a steal for Blake Griffin, so a double-double. And 14 for Chris Kaman. But we've still got another chance, so we'll simulate Denver's one. And we're going to, so Minnesota knock out Denver. So now it's going to be Clippers against Minnesota to see who can make the playoffs. So it's the last chance in the West. So here goes Blake Griffin's rookie team against the Timberwolves. So here he goes. We'll simulate the game. And the Clippers get eliminated. So they end up losing to the Timberwolves 120 to 117. So they end up losing by 3. Blake Griffin with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists and 3 steals. 26 for Eric Gordon. Baron Davis with 14 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. 13 for Chris Kaman. 20 points for Ricky Rubio, 18 for Michael Beasley, 17 for Martrell Webster, and Kevin Love with 16 points and 18 rebounds, and Wayne Ellington with 14. So, yeah, as for the West play-in, it's going to be Dallas, Minnesota, OKC, Lakers, Portland, New Orleans, and San Antonio, Houston. So for Blake Griffin's rookie season, alongside DeAndre Jordan, Eric Bledsoe, Eric Gordon, and Baron Davis, they end up with a 43 wins and 39 losses for the season, and they draw with the Rockets, which put them in the play-in, and which we end up losing by 2 to the Rockets. Then we got another chance against Minnesota and lost to Minnesota by 3. So as for Blake Griffin's rookie season, he ends up getting bounced in the playoffs and the play-in. So he ends up being the 9th seed in the West for in his rookie season. So we'll simulate the play-in in the East. So it's going to be Chicago, Milwaukee, Boston, New York, Orlando, Philly, and Miami, Indiana in the East. So we'll simulate the first round. And we've got OKC playing Minnesota, and then San Antonio, Portland. And then we've got Chicago, Boston, and then we've got Miami, Orlando. So we'll simulate the semifinals. And we now have San Antonio Spurs as the second seed are playing the 4th seed. So San Antonio against OKC in the West Finals, and Chicago playing Miami in the East Finals as a 1st seed playing the 2 seed. So we'll simulate Game 1 of the West Finals. So here goes Game 1. And San Antonio take Game 1, 119 to 113. 22 for Ginobili, 20 for Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan with 16. 31 for Kevin Durant, 28 for Russell Westbrook, and Serge Ibaka with 14. And we move on to Game 2, and we'll simulate Game 2. And OKC bring it back to life. They draw the series in Game 2 by getting a 125-112 win. Tony Parker with 24, Tim Duncan with 18, and Manu Ginobili with 14. Kevin Durant with 29, Westbrook with 27, Serge Ibaka with 11, and James Harden struggled with only 8 points. Move on to Game 3 of the West Finals. And OKC are up 2-1. They get the 120 to 100 win in Game 3. 30 points for Kevin Durant. Russell Westbrook with 25 points and 11 assists, so a double-double. 22 for Harden. 21 for Ginobili. 13 for Tony Parker. 13 for Richard Jefferson. And 11 points and 13 rebounds for Tim Duncan, so a double-double. But we'll move on to Game 4, and here goes Game 4. And San Antonio lock it back up in Game 4 by taking the 119 to 104 win. 19 points for Westbrook, 19 points and 10 rebounds for Kevin Durant, so a double-double. 18 for Serge Ibaka, and James Harden struggled with 8 points. 25 points for Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili with 23, Tiago Splitter with 16, and Tim Duncan with 15. Then we move on to Game 5, and we'll simulate, or we'll go over here and actually check the Miami-Chicago series. So Chicago are up 3-1 on Miami. So we'll simulate Game 4 against Miami and Bulls. And Miami do come back and make it a 3-2. And they take Game 5, 121 to 113. So 35 for Derrick Rose, Carlos Boozer with 24, Luol Deng with 13, and Joakim Noah with 10 points and 10 rebounds. LeBron James with 33 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. Dwayne Wade with 17, Mike Miller with 15 and 13 for Chris Bosh. So move on to Game 6 of the East Finals, so simulate Game 6. And Chicago end up beating Miami in 6 by taking the 115 to 113 win. LeBron with 32 points and 10 assists, so a double-double. 23 for Dwayne Wade, 11 for Mike Miller, and Chris Bosh fouled out for 9 points. 45 points, 12 assists for Derrick Rose, so a double-double. Carlos Boozer with 15 points and 11 rebounds, so a double-double. Luol Deng with 13. So the Bulls end up going through to the finals in the East, and San Antonio up 3-2 on OKC as they take the 126-110 win. Tim Duncan with 21, Tony Parker with 20 points and 12 assists, so a double-double. 27 for Westbrook, 17 for Kevin Durant, and 13 for Harden. So here goes Game 6, so simulate Game 6. And OKC keep themselves alive by the 109-102 win. 21 for KD, 17 points and 13 assists for Westbrook, so a double-double. 20 for Tony Parker. Then move on to Game 7, so it's do or die for Spurs and OKC. So here we go. And Tim Duncan gets the Game 7 win and Western Conference Finals MVP as the Spurs take the 134-111 win. And now it's Bulls against Spurs in the finals. So here goes Game 1 of the finals. And Bulls take Game 1, 105-99. Tim Duncan with 17 points and 11 rebounds, so a double-double. 13 for Ginobili. 39 points for Derrick Rose. Carlos Boozer with 18. And Joakim Noah with 14 points and 12 rebounds, so a double-double. And we'll simulate Game 2 of the finals. And Spurs have locked it up to 1-1. 123-113 win. 26 for Danny Green and 24 for Derrick Rose. And then we move on to Game 3 and we'll simulate Game 3 of the finals. And Bulls take it 2-1. 120-96 win. 24 points and 10 assists for Derrick Rose and 23 for Boozer. So D Rose a double-double. 16 for DeJohn Blair. Tim Duncan with 12 points and 10 rebounds. So a double-double. Move on to Game 4. So here goes number 4. And Bulls are looking like they're running away with it. They're up 3-1. They take a 120-100 win. 28 for D Rose and 20 for Ginobili. And then Game 5, we'll simulate Game 5. Spurs take it, Game 5, 127-117. Then we'll move on to Game 6. Oh, the Spurs are coming back to make Game 7. They get the 122-112 win. Then Game 7, do or die for both teams. And the Spurs end up edging out the Chicago Bulls 4-3. So Tim Duncan is your MVP. So in the 2010-2011 season, Blake Griffin for his rookie season ends up with 43 wins and 39 losses with a .524 winning percentage. Ends up becoming the 8th seed, tied with the Rockets. It gets to the play-in, loses to the Rockets, and then loses to Minnesota, so doesn't make the playoffs. As then the Spurs end up beating the Bulls in the finals. So that's another video pretty much wrapped up. As for all you new viewers watching this and enjoying it, don't forget to smash that like button. And for all you new viewers out there, don't forget to hit that subscribe button either, as we're on that road to 1,400 subs. And I appreciate every single one of you that hits that subscribe button, as that's another video in the books. And that's NZ Blazin out. And we'll catch you in the next video. NZ Blazin out.